Hello and welcome to March 2023 Astrology Forecast. Now, March is a powerful month. We have big planets making movements in the month of March. This will be a month of breakdowns in order to break through, and big planets that we will notice the shifts within our external world and reality. It won't just be personal to you. This is where we transform as a collective. So, March has this intensity to it because of these planets moving and shifting signs, and they only stay in a sign. Like Saturn will stay in a sign for 3 to 2.5 years, and Pluto is a 20-year cycle. So we are literally having these planets move signs, which means we are closing old chapters, stepping into new chapters, and learning to grow and transform in new and powerful ways. That being said, it will feel like a breakdown, like, where you come to this realization of something in your life that you just no longer see working or not moving forward. And that's the breakdown, where it can be deeply emotional because now you have to be aware of it and come to terms with it and understand this energy. And that's where the breakthrough happens, because once we become aware of something, we can actually shift the energy in a new way. So we start off the month of March. On the 1st, we will have Jupiter in the sign of Aries conjunct Venus in Aries. Now, these two energies together, Jupiter is about luck, expansion, and growth. And this happens on the 1st, 2nd of March, 2023. It offers us luck and opportunities. And this is our saving grace, because it stays this way until the 16th. Right? They will be in the same sign. The closest conjunction happens on the 1st, but they will be in the same sign of Aries until the 16th of March 2023, and then Venus will move into Taurus. So before then, we have this opportunity to look at what we want, especially when it comes to Venus, love, luxury. What do we value? What do we want within our lives? Venus is what we love. What do we love to have within our lives? And Jupiter gives us this luck, expansion, and growth. Now, on the 2nd, we will have Mercury entering into the sign of Pisces. So Mercury is not at its strongest point here. Mercury doesn't really like to be in the sign of Pisces, okay? Mercury is ruled by Virgo and is exalted in the sign of Virgo. So Mercury being in the sign of Pisces is at a debilitated point. It's at a weak point. It's at its 4th position. And having Mercury in Pisces, Mercury is about how we think, how we communicate, and it stays in Pisces for a couple of weeks. So how we think, how we communicate, how do we express ourselves, how do we get our messages across in the sign of Pisces. Pisces rules illusions, our dreams, our fantasies, our emotions. The good point about this energy is maybe we can express ourselves in a more compassionate way, but it might be also very hazy to get our point across. So when we are expressing ourselves to someone, it will take a while before they even understand fully what we are trying to say, because Mercury is right now deep in the ocean and dreams of Pisces. So getting the point across and getting what you want to say across can be difficult. It can be very confusing to other people. This is where our minds are more in our dreams. What we are thinking about is more about maybe even past experiences, because Pisces is our subconscious. It takes us way back into the past. It takes us into our illusions, escapism. This is where we can even want to escape, and ways to escape is maybe, giving into scrolling through your phone, procrastination on the thoughts that we have and not taking action upon them. It's very challenging for Mercury to be in Pisces. Mercury doesn't like to be there. Mercury likes facts. And Pisces is all dreams. And that's where the energy of this dream state comes to us. But it's great for compassionate and having kind communication towards others. Be aware that other people may not be able to understand fully what you're trying to say to them at this time. Now, on the 7th, we have a beautiful full moon in the sign of Virgo. And this is a very important full moon Virgo rules our physical, mental, and emotional health, our to-do list, our day-to-day routine. And this full moon will be showing us things within our physical reality that need to change. I will be posting the full moon video down below for you to get an in-depth understanding of this full moon. But it will be asking us to release things from our routine that are no longer in alignment and may also be doing a disservice to our health and well-being. And we'll have to make some changes that will be best for us. On the same day, the 7th, we will have Saturn entering into the sign of Pisces. Now, this is a 3-year transit, as Saturn will be in Pisces until 2026, right? So it's a 3-year transit that's happening. Saturn has been the sign of Aquarius since 2020. And Saturn is about rules, regulations, and restrictions. I will also be posting a video down below on the Saturn energy in Pisces, as that will deserve more attention. But Saturn rules, regulations, and restrictions. Pisces, once again, is our dreams, our fantasy, our sense of hope, our spiritual beliefs. It's deeply a spiritual energy. Pisces, it takes us into the depths and the darkness of our emotions when we're in Pisces, of what we need to release and surrender in order to trust and have faith. And Saturn is about rules, restrictions, and challenges in the sign of Pisces for the next 3 years will definitely restrict our sense of faith. And that's a big thing, because when our faith is restricted, it's hard for us to believe in what we are trying to do. But Saturn is trying to show us that we need to be more, instead of just having faith, but actually having a plan. Saturn loves a good, solid plan. It's structure. So the more structured you are, the better things will go for you. And also it'll show us a reality check in what dreams are no longer suited to our lives and need to be restricted and cut out. Saturn likes to also cut out things from our lives that are no longer in alignment to us. And that's a 3-year transit that will also be happening in the month of March. And it's why we will go through these periods of breakdowns in order to break through in the month of March, when we're having such deep, profound spiritual awakenings and changes to our physical reality. And that's what Saturn rules, our physical reality. When Saturn was in Aquarius in 2020, we did have restrictions to our social interactions, and Aquarius rules our social interactions, how we socialize in our various communities that we have and set up within our lives. And that's our friend groups, our internet groups, our family groups. Think of all these various groups and social circles that you have, your exercising group. It restricts all of those things. And that's what we experienced for the past 3 years with Saturn in Aquarius. It definitely brought structure to technology, which Aquarius rules, and structure to looking at our humanitarian aspects of life. We would gain more awareness of that, as Saturn would then want to create structure in those aspects, and also structure to technology. A lot of online businesses came to light and were into being during that time, and that was Saturn Aquarius. But now we're going into Saturn into Pisces, which is a lot about restriction to our faith. Our spiritual beliefs might also go through a change. And not only those aspects, but our sense of hope and faith and the dreams that we have for ourselves. We'll now have to have that deep, profound reality check. On the 16th, we will have Venus entering into Taurus, where it will stay for a couple of weeks. Now, Venus in Taurus is to do with our love luxury, which is Venus. In Taurus, it loves to be in Taurus, our physical things that we bring us comfort, what we value, what we hold dear to us. And this is a good time to manifest, especially with Venus being in the sign of Taurus, asking us, what do you want? What do you value? What do you hold dear to your heart? What are you passionate about when it comes to luxury, your finances, your love life, yourself? It's a great time for self-love, and Taurus rules our physical body, our physical being. It's an earth sign, and it's the physical things that we see in our reality that we can now manifest, create, and really look at. Also our skills and talents, as Taurus rules, and our ability to create financially within those aspects in our lives. And so this is a good time, especially for us to manifest and see what do we want to grow. And that's what Taurus also is an energy about. It's an energy of growth and stability within that growth. Now, on the 20th, we will have the 19th, we'll have Mercury enter into Aries, right? So on the 19th, we have Mercury entering into the sign of Aries. And this is great because we can finally communicate effectively. Aries is about self, and this is where we'll be communicating for the next couple of weeks about ourselves and what do we want and what's important to us and what direction we want to take. We can finally even think clearly, and there's a more passionate thoughts coming in through our mind about our desires and how we communicate, and we'll be looking at facts of new beginnings that we want to create within our lives. And we can get our point across more effectively with Mercury being in Aries, but you must be aware of that we will show less consideration to other people's thoughts and feelings at that point when Mercury is in Aries, and it's more about ourselves. And we can have some heated conversations, because when everyone has their point of view and their perspective, this is where our conversations can become quite heated, and Aries is a fire sign, and it'll be there for the next couple of weeks. Then on the 20th, we will have the Sun enter into Aries. And this is beautiful energy, new beginnings. It will be around the equinox. So the equinox is an equilibrium point where if you are in the northern hemisphere, you'll be having spring, sudden, you'll be having your autumn, fall energy. So it's where you come into Aries season with a new beginning and fresh start. That's what Aries rules. New beginnings, fresh start, start of the astrological new year. It's where we look at what we want to create in the next 12 months to come. On the 21st, we have a beautiful new moon in the sign of Aries. And this is very important because this is going to be the first new moon, new beginning in the sign of Aries. And it takes us into April, where we have on the 20th, 19th of April, 2023, the second new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Aries. So we already will be feeling the energy very strongly of new beginnings that we want to have in our life in the month of March. But we're going through so much change, so much of upheaval. It will feel that way. We'll be seeing it in our physical reality as well as feeling it personally ourselves. And this energy is asking us and telling us we don't know the full picture yet. We won't know the full picture yet until we go into April, and probably even later into May, because that's the eclipse season, and eclipses are felt prior, like they are big points that take us into transforming and changing our lives for the next 6 months. So what you experience and the themes that happen during eclipse cycles at that point in time is what you'll be working through for the next 6 months. And that's very important if you think about it. So this new moon on the 21st of March 2023 in the sign of Aries is just the beginning, but we don't have the full picture. So it's not important, or I shouldn't say not important, it's important for you to take a step back, allow for the energy to flow, and allow for new beginnings to come through and see what ideas you have. But it won't be the time to immediately act upon it. You have to give these ideas time to grow. You need to see the full picture that unfolds during the eclipse cycle. So give yourself that moment, understand that that new moon that we have on the 21st is powerful because it's opening us up to the eclipse cycles that are to come and the eclipse season. And eclipse seasons are powerful and transformative. And again, it'll be a time of breakthroughs, breakdowns, a time for transformation. It can also bring some chaos and upheaval to our lives when we go through eclipse seasons, because they are that powerful to show us and push us in a way towards destiny. It's not that these points of times are like, oh, I'm going to go through a breakdown. Oh my goodness. You know what I mean? It's more time when things break down for us to shift our focus in a different direction. And eclipse seasons are known and powerful transformational points in order to push us in the new direction that we are meant to be in alignment to our soul's growth and purpose. It can feel uncomfortable, especially if you're holding on to something. But eclipses push us to let go of what is no longer serving us, what's no longer allowed to be within our reality. This is where contracts come to an end and new contracts come into being. Okay? So we have that new moon on the 21st, and then on which will also be taking us into April. So you don't have the full picture, so just wait a minute on it. On the 23rd, we'll have Pluto entering into the sign of Aquarius. Now, Pluto will stay in Aquarius for 3 months of this year, and then it will go back into the sign of Capricorn. Now, Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. Pluto is about death, destruction, and transformation. Pluto literally loves to, and purpose of Pluto is to destroy in order to rebuild. So this is where things fall apart in Pluto in order to be reborn. Pluto also loves to show us what is hidden. Pluto rules our psychological fears, our psychological energy when it comes to our pain and trauma. Those are the things that need to be broken down or destroyed, in essence, for us to be reborn as an empowered person, an empowered individual. So it's a very empowering energy with Pluto, especially if you have very strong dominant Pluto placements within your chart, or that energy is very much about breaking down in order to rebuild. And sometimes people don't like that. We as by human nature love to get stuck on how things should be and what we want, and even sometimes when things aren't good for us. But Pluto is a blessing because it comes to break down in order to rebuild us in a stronger, more powerful way. If I think of Pluto, I would definitely think of the Tower card, because it's a card in tarot. The Tower is basically where things need to fall apart in order to come back stronger. The foundation that you have is weak, and no building can stand on a foundation. So the tower is the falling of the tower in order for you to rebuild. It's an awakening, it's an epiphany. It's where we go through this transformation within us that we can come back stronger. So remember that about Pluto. Now, Pluto was in Capricorn. Capricorn rules our day-to-day work, the structures within our life, especially financial structures. And in 2008, we had that financial crash where it had to fall down and truth was brought to light about how things really are, and we had to work on that. Now, Pluto entering into Aquarius on the 23rd, staying for 3 months, then re-entering to Capricorn, and then in 2024, it will stay in Aquarius for 20 years. So this is a powerful time. And Aquarius rules humanity, our social interactions with our social groups and the people we interact with, technology, our way that we think, because Aquarius is an air sign, so it has to do with we think outside of the box. But sometimes we can become fixated in Aquarius because it is an air sign and it's a fixed air sign, so we get fixated on a thought. Now, understand that Pluto is coming to transform this energy within our lives. It's coming to transform our way that we socially interact with each other. There'll definitely be some transformation there, and transformation to technology. Technology will definitely be advancing with Pluto being in Aquarius. And it'll also shed light on humanitarian issues that need to be seen in order for us to make changes to those aspects. Now, on the 25th, we will have Mars entering into the sign of Cancer. And this is very important because Mars, since 2022 in August, was in the sign of Gemini, where it entered, and then it went retrograde in October of 2022, direct in January of 2023 on the 12th. And this energy allowed for Mars to stay in Gemini for 7 months. So we've been working on a specific area within our lives, which would have brought us frustration, aggravation, tension, anger, a lot of stuck feelings. Okay, Mars retrogrades bring up anger, accidents, cars breaking down because it is in Gemini. It's a time where we are impulsive and rush to things, rush to say things. Gemini, once again, we've been working through this energy for the past 7 months, a specific area within your life. And Mars would have brought conflict, heated energy into your life, frustration, feeling stuck, feeling like you're not moving forward, motivation lacking, especially during the retrograde. And as Mars went direct, it would have been picking up momentum, but it would have been taking a while for us to regain our motivation. But it would have kept up with this feeling of feeling a bit like, okay, I'm feeling a bit motivated when it went direct, but I still know I need to find more inspiration. But it would have been very difficult to do that, and also staying out of those heated conflicts during that time. You must know during the full moon, and if you watch a full moon video, I'll be talking about the sun and the moon squaring Mars, bringing up more frustration and aggravation, because the moon will be in Virgo and the sun will be in Pisces and Mars will be in Gemini, which are mutable signs. And that's why there will be this frustration and aggravation still being brought up around the full moon. So the good news is by the 25th, Mars will be leaving Gemini. We'll be moving forward from the area of life that frustrated us, brought aggravation and conflict, feeling stuck and stagnant, and moving forward with Mars moving into Cancer. Now Mars will be direct in the sign of Cancer. We've previously went through the retrograde. This will be a time with Mars direct in the sign of Cancer, giving us a gentler approach, and we need that. We need that. Gemini is a masculine energy because it is an air sign. It's about our thinking and communication and mutable energy. So we've been dealing with a lot of that mutable energy with Mars being there in the retrograde. Words would have been sharp like knives and could have hurt us. Okay. Now with Mars moving into Cancer, things are going to become a lot more gentler. Cancer is a water energy. It has to do with our emotions. It's a cardinal water sign. It's about emotional healing and comfort. So Mars moving here will help us bring more compassion, understanding, and how we take action will be a more creative aspect, and it will bring a lot of healing to any heated arguments that we had during the retrograde. It'll also give us a time to actually take action upon what brings us comfort, because Cancer has to do with family, home, comfort, feeling emotionally grounded within yourself. And that is a way to do that with Cancer, and Mars will be giving us the energy to take action on it. And we need that. We will definitely be needing that after having Mars for 7 months in Gemini and enduring an intense, tough retrograde. We definitely need that, especially after all the anger and frustration and the lack of motivation, feeling stuck. The good thing about Mars in Cancer is that your creative energies will be overflowing. So you'll be more motivated about creativity, your emotions, and how you really feel. It's going to be very healing for all of us. So it's wishing you a beautiful month of March. Please look down below for my website if you'd like to book a reading, a link for appreciation of this video, and like and comment about how you're feeling about these changes. You probably would already be sensing and feeling the changes that are coming, and how you can feel that is through feeling sometimes a bit restless, like something is going to happen. You can feel that you want to make changes in your life and new structures you want to form within your life. So that's how it can appear before it actually happens. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed March.